Bird nerds, how we doing? Sorry for the late video. It's been, it's just always crazy. That's just how it rolls and how life seems to be these days. But just wanted to bring you guys an update on really all the birds. We've got lots of action going on here. We've got canary babies that have hatched. We've got shaft tails that are sitting, golden finches that are sitting with chicks about to hatch. Our cutthroats, red-headed Amadamias, they're on eggs. Society finches are fostering. So we've got a lot of stuff to cover today in hopes that we can get you guys all caught up and into the bird room. See, got the birds up here. Mikey, he's always wanting to say hi. He's a good bird. Sure love that little guy. And then we've got our canaries over here, and we've got chicks over here. It's kind of hard pointing my finger that way with the camera angle. So we'll give you guys an update on the canaries. We'll give you an update on the society finches. One of the moves that I did just make with the star finches in hopes to get us some chicks. We'll see what happens there, and kind of get you guys caught up and up to date there. And so excited. We've got our black-headed Golden finch pair. They're sitting on 4 eggs. I did just check the nest because the eggs should be hatching any day, and I didn't know, I hadn't seen any chicks on the floor, which is good, right? So I went in and checked. So they got 4 eggs. 2 of the 4 are fertile. Looks like the 1 egg should be hatching probably tomorrow, and then the other egg in probably about 2 days. It might have been the last egg she laid. So, and kind of give you guys an update on there and some of the moves that I made and why. So let's flip this camera around so you guys can see the birds. We'll give you an update on how we're doing. All right, so first let's give you guys the update on the canaries. And I did move my cages around a little bit, and I'll get to that in a minute. I had this pair. They were on top, and I actually ended up flipping my cages. So I had some red factor, 2 red factor canaries in there. They've kind of been under the weather for the last few weeks, and this last 2 weeks they've been doing really well. Very active, starting to act like a normal canary, not showing any signs of illness. So I was able to move them out and put them in a different spot. And then we deep cleaned the cage really well. And then I ended up putting that on top and throwing the star finches up there. And in fact, let's just start with the stars. Why not? Since we're already talking about them, we'll let you get a little bit of a view in here. So I had this pair of star finches. I had them as a trio, so I have an extra female. And you might see her. She might fly up there. There she is right there. She's on the other side of that cage. I'm going to have to put a barrier in there so they can't see her. But I had this trio of stars in with my black-headed pair of Goldians in the cage that I built, the breeding cage. And what happened was my Golden finches, they went to nest right away. They laid 4 eggs. They're the ones that I was just talking about, that they should be hatching eggs out here pretty soon. But what happened was the Golden finches, they became pretty aggressive towards the stars. And you can see up over in this cage up here, the Golden finches were just pushing them around. They wouldn't let them go near their nest box, that's okay. I mean, that's natural behavior, right? I was hoping for a better outcome. Didn't happen that way, so we made some adjustments. So what I ended up doing is I ended up pulling this pair of stars out. They seem to have paired off. The female that's on the other cage, she's ready. I don't know, I guess it looks like the male's kind of going towards her, but the other female that's in the breeding cage with him, she seems to be more dominant, and she pushed that other female away. And it seems like these guys have paired up. So the hope is that I will be able to breed them. I did throw a nesting box up there, and I did try and put their cage the highest up, because I've heard several of you guys on your comments saying, star finches, they like to nest up top. They like privacy, no nest checks, things like that. And so the hope is, because they're almost as high as these nest boxes here. So the hope is that they're high enough that we won't be able to, or they'll feel safe enough to nest and keep the babies in the nest. We'll give you guys one more shot of these good looking birds. So these are orange, yellow-faced star finches. So that's where we're at with those guys, in hopes that maybe we could get some breeding action out of them up in here. So we'll see what happens there, and hope for the best. moving on, Canary Time. So if you guys followed my other videos, this pair of canaries, they were up top. The female I got from my brother, who also breeds birds, she was a great mother for him last year. She raised like 2 or 3 clutches, a prolific egg layer, but for some reason, she would not lay eggs. She built a nest very quickly. Let's see if we can zoom in here a little bit more. So she built a nest quickly, sat on the nest for, about 2 weeks, and never laid an egg. I don't know what went on. They don't fight, they get along well. The male feeds her. I mean, they're a great pair. You can see she's begging for food. He's been feeding her. So what I ended up doing, and we'll show you the nest here in a second, is because she wouldn't lay eggs, I figured I'd try and do something. So I took her eggs, which is my red factor pair down here, and I put them up here for her to foster. And so 2 of the 4 eggs were fertile. She hatched both eggs out. Chicks are doing really well. So they're about, they're about 5 days old now, 4 days. Let's see if we can get you guys a good little close-up view here. We'll tap the nest, see if they're hungry. Nope, looks like they're sleeping. So the chicks are doing great. She's feeding them really well, taking good care of them. Male's feeding her while she's on the nest, things like that. So things seem to be going good so far. So hopefully the goal is that we'll she'll continue raising those. And the hope is she'll raise these, she'll wean them, and then maybe that'll kick her into gear, and she'll lay a set of her own clutch of eggs. So we'll see what happens there. And then we've got our mosaic canary. So we've got my hen here. She's sitting on the nest. She's a great sitter. We've got my male mosaic over here. And again, if you guys watch my other videos, he's old. He's 7 years old. So I worry about the fertility of him, just purely due to age. I mean, he's just an older bird. And so the first clutch she laid, none of them were fertile, and she just laid her 4th egg yesterday. So I let her try one more round with him, with the hopes that even if we get 1 fertile egg, I'm not expecting a high fertility rate. Even if we get 1 fertile egg, the hope is that we can, get at least 1 chick out of them and raise some more mosaics. I'd love to get some more bloodlines going on in here. You can see the eggs. She's got 4 good little eggs in there. Like I said, she's a great sitter. So hope is that we'll get some fertility out of them, and we'll be able to get some mosaic chicks here, some agate mosaic chicks. So, and then down here we've got our red factor pair. So we've got the hen. She's sitting in there. She has laid 3 eggs so far. So she'll lay her 4th one tomorrow. And they're fertile. The 2 chicks that I showed you above those are from this pair here. So the male's down on the ground, female's up top. The male sees the 2 red factor females that I put in a different cage. So he's been going crazy singing, trying to get to them, but they're not ready to breed yet. So, and with them not feeling too hot over these last few weeks, I probably won't breed them this year. But he still does very well with the female, feeds her on the nest, and so far is fertile. Like I said, the 2 chicks that we showed you earlier, those are from them. So the hope is that this round, all 4 eggs will be fertile, and we'll get 4 chicks out of them. So excited about the canaries. I love the canaries, guys. They're so much fun. They've got awesome personalities. They're beautiful. They've got beautiful songs. They're just kind of goofy clowns. That's kind of how I picture canaries in many ways, especially like your Gloucesters and your crested ones. But just really enjoy those birds quite a bit. So you can see the male in there. He's checking the nest out, making sure everything's good there. He's looking up above. You can see the female mosaic. She's sitting up top there. But he's a good dad. He raised several clutches last year and did great. So Down here we've got our society finches. So this, I've got a trio here. So we've got one there, and then we've got the two in the nest. So they are fostering eggs currently. So I did throw some dummy eggs in there this last week, and they took to the nest and they've been sitting on them. So actually today I just put in some redhead amidamia eggs and what possibly might be cutthroat eggs. We'll see. But I pulled those nests out, or those eggs out from the aviary, and I threw them in there. So hoping for some fertile eggs there, and then we can foster some of those chicks up. So excited for that. Hopefully they'll do a good job, and we'll have some future redhead amidamia chicks. Over here, not a whole lot of action. So I've got 3 cages here of society finches. Up here, up top is my Euro pair. I've got a dark brown Euro and a light brown. They are beautiful birds. Sure are beautiful. So I have been throwing in, some dummy eggs in hopes that they'll take to the nest. The male, which is the dark brown here, he's been playing with the nest a little bit. The female seems to be starting to get a little bit interested in there. So hopefully they'll take to the nest and start sitting. And if she starts laying, that's fine. I'll pull the dummy eggs out and let her lay and raise their own chicks. So hopefully we can get something out of them. And then down here I've got a light brown pair. Males up top, females down below. I haven't put any dummy eggs in their nest because I would like them to try and breed on their own. So hopefully we'll get some action from these guys soon. But they haven't done anything yet with their nest. I did put nesting material in there, and the male went in and pulled it out. So they at least know the nest is there. So hopefully we'll get something from these guys. And then I have another pair. It's really hard to see down here. Sorry about that, guys. It's another pair of my Euros, so dark brown Euros. I had put dummy eggs in there for them to start, but then my female, she's the one down there in the bottom left. She actually laid an egg this morning. So I pulled out the dummy eggs, and we're gonna let her lay in hopes that we can get some Euro babies. So hopefully we'll get some of that going, and we can get some more Euro babies going. I would love that. Haven't had too much success with the Euros. They've been awesome fosters for me, but in terms of raising their own young, not much success there. So, and then moving in here, we've got our shaft tails. They're sitting on eggs, so they've got a nest up there in that top left, and they've got 4 eggs in there sitting tight. So I'm hoping that we'll get some success out of them. And then you can see my male Goldian there. He looks pretty rough. He's my oldest Goldian finch that I have. I believe his band on his leg says 2014. So what does that make him? What, 7 years old? 8 years old. So he's paired up with my yellowback female right there. And they've been singing and dancing. She's been receptive. He's been checking out all these nest boxes and wooing her in. I did see them breed earlier today, so they're I think we got some action happening there with the Goldian finches. In hopes he's actually split to blueback, and my yellowback that's up there, she is possible split to blueback. So we could potentially get some blueback babies if they end up being successful in the nest. So I may keep an eye on them and potentially pull their eggs out. Because I would be really interested in getting some eggs from them, or some chicks from them. And then other than that, not a whole ton of action. My cutthroat pair, they've been interested in the nest, but no eggs yet. I do have another female Goldian finch up top there. She's in between. She's coming into breeding condition, but I don't think she's quite there yet. And then inside the breeding cage, so I had my trio of red-faced, yellow-bodied stars. But they seem to have paired up, so I pulled out the second female, so it's only just a pair in there. And I did peek into the nest box. I wasn't quite sure. I haven't really seen a whole lot of action, and I have 3 eggs in the nest box up top that you can see there. So hopefully we can get some eggs or some starfinch chicks going in there. Hopefully, we would love that. And then Oh, I didn't show you guys down below. Not a whole lot of action down below. Down here, the Borks, my one fallow opaline, she's wanting to breed. She's been in the nest box for about a week now, but I don't think the male has paired up with her, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to pull out his old mate, which is up there, and I'm gonna pull her out. I might even just take her into the house for about a month in hopes that maybe he'll pair up with the other female. So you can see the male, he's down there with my Rubino female, and then my other female, she's in the nest box. My Goldie and Finch pair, they haven't really done much. My red-headed Amadamia pair, they're in there. Well, they're my orange-headed Amadamia pair. They have laid eggs in there, but I don't think I got to them soon enough, and they turned out to be not fertile. So hopefully they'll lay again, and maybe we can take the eggs out before they go bad. So down here, I've got my scarlet crested parakeets. There's the male female. She's in between the wood there. You can see her kind of between the crack. My parrot finches, actually, I've been seeing them going in and out of my nest box right there. So I'm hoping that they're starting to lay some eggs. I'd love to get some chicks out of those guys. So we'll see what happens there. They do like to spend a lot of time down here in the ground in the corner in this bush. They haven't made any nests down there or anything, but they hang out there most of the day and then kind of in and out of that nest box. So I'm hoping that maybe they'll breed for me. I do have a male golden finch in there, but he's just kind of in there for right now because I don't have a mate for him, and so I've just thrown him in there to keep him away from the other females for right now. But and then looking up top here, so I've got a shaft-tail pair. They've laid eggs. They're currently sitting in there. Female is in there as we speak. And then the three other nest boxes. So I did pull eggs out of this nest box, which was my red-headed Amadamia pair. They're up there. She's preening them. I did pull those eggs out, and those are the ones that I put in with my society finches in hopes that we'll get some red-headed Amadamia chicks. So, and then in here the golden finches, like I had mentioned earlier, so they're sitting on 4 eggs, and those two of the 4 are fertile. The 2 eggs, they should be hatching like in the next 3 days, both of them. So hopefully we'll get some Golden chicks out. We'll keep an eye on the bottom, make sure they don't toss. I haven't really had too many issues with Golden finches tossing their chicks in the past, but and they seem to be a very dedicated pair. They're both sharing the job of sitting on the eggs. I mean, when I looked at the nest box, I put it back in. I hadn't even closed this door, and the female was back in there sitting on the eggs. So it's a very, very dedicated pair. I think we'll hopefully, shouldn't be worried about them tossing the chicks, but we'll wait and see there. So hope you guys' birds are doing good. Send me some updates on what you're breeding currently and how things are going. Hope you guys have good, happy, healthy birds. Appreciate you watching the channel, and we will see you next time. Bird nerds, how we doing? Bringing you guys another video here. Sorry for the